Shalom, and welcome back to B'nai Noach Academy, Thoughts on the Torah. Please remember to hit the like button, to subscribe, most importantly, to share this wisdom and inspiration with friends and family. So when you look in the book of Numbers, chapter 3, verse 29, over there it describes the Levite family of Kehat and where exactly they camped in the desert surrounding the tabernacle. And the verse reads, Mishpechot b'nei Kahat yachanu, the families of the children of Kahat, they shall camp al yerech hamishkan teimana, on the south side of the tabernacle. The sages of the Talmud point out a very, very intriguing thought. You look back in this very same chapter, in this very same book, verse 10, and there it tells us who was on the southern side of the tabernacle, which other tribes of the tribes of Israel camped out on the southern side. And there it says, Degel Machane Reuven Temana. Degel meaning literally the flag. Okay, they were the flagship of those four tribes, of those three tribes, forgive me. They were on the south side. And the sages comment, Oy l'rashav oy l'shecheno. Woe is to the wicked one, and woe is to his neighbor. What does this mean? Well, if you look ahead in the same book, but in chapter 16, where it tells us about the terrible, terrible opposition that was put up against Moses, and with the terrible, devastating consequences of it. Who began this opposition? Who had the jealousy? Well, that was Korach, who was a son of the family of Kehat. So he began the whole thing. He instigated it. And guess what? When you read there in the verses, you see, wait, the tribe of Reuven also got swept up into it. How did they get involved? What happened? Well, they were his neighbors. They lived close by. So when he instigated it, he instigated this whole opposition to Moshe. He instigated all this terrible, terrible hatred. Who got swept into it? Who were his friends? His neighbors. They got influenced by it. So when all the discord happened, they got involved. And sadly, some of them even suffered the same consequences alongside the instigator, Korach himself. And this tells us a very important lesson in life. Yes, it is important, absolutely paramount to our spiritual, emotional, psychological well-being, where we live, whom we choose to live near. Sometimes we can't control it, but we certainly, generally speaking, do have a reasonable amount of control as to what kind of neighborhood, what kind of place we choose to live into, we choose to move into and to live in. And this is the lesson here. Make sure your neighbors are good people. Make sure that the people who live around you are people whose behavior is a blessing to have rub off on you. Because we do get influenced by our surroundings. We do get influenced by the people who are around us. So we need to surround ourselves as much as possible with good and healthy. When I say healthy, I mean spiritually healthy, mentally healthy people. Thus, our lives will be spiritually, mentally, psychologically, and even physically a healthy life.